Okay, good morning. Let's start in our comfortable seated position. So come to your mat, come to your seated posture. And let's just take a moment to allow the breath to move through the body. Remembering that with each exhale, our heart rate slows down, our body decompresses, our nervous system calms. So as you draw the next breath in, really focus on slowly, calmly, gently releasing the breath. And create that kind of buoyancy through the spine as you breathe. Spine is not rigid or stiff. It moves in gentle ways, accommodating. Has a little bit of a bounce to it. As you inhale, it expands. And as you exhale, it comes back down to its natural state. Let this breath be rhythmic. Pair up the inhale with the exhale as far as counts. So maybe in your head, as you inhale, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try to hold without releasing. And then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold there, empty. Again, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Continue like this, maybe 2 or 3 more rounds. Remembering to stop and pause at the top of the inhale. And pause again at the bottom of the exhale. Already we start to feel how our bodies react to this movement of breath. Do one more. And slowly release the chin down to the chest. Pull the shoulders back. Maybe a little bit of a stretch in the neck here. Moving the head side to side. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Starting to kind of activate into the shoulder blades, into the sides of the back. And gently lift the chin. All right, we're going to just start with a little bit of mindful movement. So let's take right hand down, left arm up. Let's not go all the way over here, just kind of extend up. Feel the ribcage push away as opposed to sliding over to the side. So keep the right side long, just push away through the left ribcage. Keep the right arm straight, try not to bend into the right elbow. Extend and lengthen. Press away through the left ribcage. And then exhale, release, coming back to center. And we'll do the other side. Left hand down, right arm up. Keep the left arm pressed down, right elbow straight, and push away through that right rib cage. Just feel it in that right side rib cage. Keep extending, and the shoulder blade pulls down, away from the ears into the socket. Just kind of tucking into the pocket of the shoulder blade. And exhale, coming to center. One more time, let's do the shoulders moving back, and the shoulders moving forward. And then go ahead and come off your cushion. Just move it out behind you. Let's extend the right leg and keep your alignment to the center of your mat. So instead of aligning to the left, keep your alignment center. Your legs are out about a 90-degree angle and fold forward here. You can use a block or your cushion to bring your elbows down in case your elbows don't come naturally to the floor. As you're holding there, you might find that you can lower your block and eventually, possibly, maybe not today, but at some point, you'll find that the elbows can come naturally to the floor. Keep that nice extended spine. So the breath, again, flows just like you did in the beginning of our practice here. The inhale creates space between each vertebrae. Adding a little buoyancy to the breath as you exhale, they come back to their natural state. Maybe you can find that you're able to walk the elbows a little further away. Even if they're on your block, just moving the block further away. And then inhale, press into the hands, lift halfway. Exhale, come forward. Good. Let's do the other side. So right foot brings in, left foot extends out. At 90-degree angle here between your legs, so your right knee is pointing out. Keep your body centered in front. And again, coming forward. If you thought you needed the block on the other side, maybe you'll need it here too. But sometimes, our sides are so different. And where you thought you needed it on the other side right away, maybe this side is different. So always give it a try and see what happens. Continue to create that lengthened spine. The exhale breath, remember, it brings you back into your natural state. Let the spine feel buoyant, almost like it's expanding and closing with each breath. The vertebrae are moving, inhaling, and then exhaling, coming back to their natural state. See if you can visualize that for your spine, and perhaps walk the elbows a little further away, keeping the length in the body, reaching top of the head. Then you can gaze down towards your forearms, or you can close your eyes. Just feel your body here. It's just a matter of becoming aware and mindful of all the sensations going on as you hold the posture. And inhale, slowly press into the hands, lift halfway, exhale there. And slowly coming back through to center. We're gonna open both legs out this time. Same concept, sit yourself down, make sure your sit bones are on the floor. Legs are engaged, you don't have to go into a big split, just a comfortable opening of the legs. Toes point up towards your face. Again, grab your block, place it somewhere in front, bring the elbows to it. And then there you can again bring that visualization back into the spine. Lengthening, tailbone down. Decide if this is good enough for you here, or if you want to go a little lower with the block. See if that's a possibility. So we're just kind of feeling our way through, and our mindful movement is not about finding depth like it is in our regular yoga classes. Mindful movement is just about creating connection to the awareness of the different muscle groups, the bone structures, the ligaments, the tendons. So it's just about connecting with our body. It's like having a conversation over tea with our bodies. It's very gentle, it's very kind. There's no necessity to pull past the point of where you are able to just feel soft. So there is no going beyond that comfort zone. You can just decide, it's just more comfortable now to be on my elbows, and that's where I will be. Not pushing it, just allowing your body to rest. So mindful movement for me is just a restful movement. It's actually what I do, what you want to try to do in the morning, right when you wake up. Nice greeting, nice welcoming to your body. And then slowly inhale, extend the arms. See if you can hold there, exhale there. And then let's fold one more time. Elbows can again stay on the block or they can come to the floor. Reaching the top of your head forward, so try not to crane your head to look up at me. Just keep your gaze down towards the mat. Reach the top of your head forward. Lengthen your shoulders back. Go to where your body feels comfortable and not anywhere past that. Couple more breaths. And then inhale, lengthen up, exhale there. Walk the hands back in, coming back to the center. Good. Go ahead, bring the knees into the body. We're gonna go for some seated twists here. So keep that legs pulled in. Give yourself a nice tight hug. Round your spine, forehead to the knee. So you really wanna create a full roundness. Imagine a cat pose, but in a seated position. So instead of just here, push the shoulder blades away, really tuck in. You want to stretch through your cervical spine, and through the the thorax, and through the thoracic spine right in the middle, and even into the lumbar a little bit as you tuck under. So everything is stretching in your spine. And then slowly coming to center. One for a seated twist, so extend left leg. We're going to keep that right leg pulled into the body. We're going to keep it on the inside of the left leg. Take your left arm around, hug, so your left shoulder is pressing against your right knee. Get a good tight grip, then go ahead and reach your right arm back, look to the right. So find your rotation here. I want you to think about drawing in through your pelvic floor. So pull up and in underneath, so kind of bring your pelvic floor into your body, suck in through your belly, and see if you can rotate a little bit more, gazing towards the right. That easy rotation in your spine. Remember, it should be comfortable, but a little bit challenging. I mean, you don't want to feel like you're just mush here. Your body's engaged. Draw in through belly, pull into the pelvic floor, and then exhale, come back through the center. We're going to release that right leg. Take a moment before we do the other side. Let's forward fold. Bring your fingertips to your toes. If that doesn't quite reach, you can use a strap. And then inhale, lengthen through spine, and then exhale, fold in. Don't worry so much about keeping the spine super straight in this one here. Just worry about drawing in through belly, tucking, so like pulling your lower abdomen into your body, and then again, that pelvic floor, lifting it up and in. So it's like a lot of internal muscles we're working with here. Roll the shoulders back and let yourself surrender down over your legs. Gaze towards your shins. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Keep that belly drawn in. Keep engaging into the pelvic floor. One more breath, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lifting halfway. Holding there. Lengthening through spine, creating space in the back. Exhale. And then slowly release. Good. We're ready for the twist on the other side. Bringing left knee into the body. Let's give it a hug first. So just both arms kind of hug that left knee around. Imagine your left hip doesn't come way off the floor, but it might float up just a little bit. As you wrap that right arm around, you'll feel that left hip reconnects to the floor. So at that point, you want to use your left arm to lift it back up and then find rotation. The same way with the other side, we pull in through the pelvic floor. So you want to squeeze the muscles. It's like you're trying to pee and then you hold your pee. Squeeze those muscles there underneath and then slowly rotate your torso and look to the left. If your right arm starts to slip, get a nicer grip by hugging maybe the top or back or outside part of the knee. And then as we rotate, keep engaging to the pelvic floor. Keep the right leg engaged, flexing or pointing through right foot. Either way works. The left arm is there to support you. The left hip is just hovering slightly off the floor. One more breath. Each inhale lengthens through your spine, and then each exhale draws you a little closer into your twist. Keep engaging into pelvic floor, drawing in through belly. And exhale, slowly release. Coming back to center. Let the legs extend out. Shake it out one more time. Let's go into our Paschimottanasana. So leaning forward, hands to the toes, lengthen through the spine, creating space as much as possible. Pull in through lower abdomen and pelvic floor, and then exhale. Get down. Let it go. If you have your block nearby, you can also place it at your shins. So maybe you can bring your forehead or your chin to the block. Forehead, I think, is a little bit more gentle. This way, you're able to surrender the weight of your head. Your block can be any which direction feels comfortable. You might find that you're able to bring the forehead to the knee. Let's hold here for 3 breaths. And with the next exhale, inhaling, lifting halfway, creating that sense of space. Exhale there. And slowly coming back up. All right, let's grab your block as you come back up. We're going to lay all the way onto our backs, but we're going to do a simple supported bridge before we get ready for our sound healing. So we're going to extend the legs, lay all the way onto your back. Remember, your block has levels. If you're using your cushion, then that's the only level it can really have. But if you have a block, separate your feet about hip width apart. And we're going to lift the hips just enough to place the block underneath the sacrum. So that would be level 1, the flattest level, probably the most secure, and probably the most comfortable. So once the block is in place, you can relax into the shoulders. Take a notice and become aware here if this is too easy, or if it feels just right, you want to stay. If it's too easy, you can tilt the block up so that it's at the second level. And then again, place it right at the sacrum, so that bony protrusion at the top of the tailbone before your waist. And see how that feels. Take a moment, relax your hands down by your sides, relax your shoulders. Your feet stay hip width apart. There's almost no weight in the legs. Most of your weight is being supported by your block here. So then that could be where you want to stay if that feels good. Or your last option is to come to the toes. You kind of want to tuck your toes under. And then lift the block up to the highest level, again, placing it right at the sacrum, making sure that it's nice and flat. Once the block is in place, releasing your feet back to its position and relaxing the arms down. So this would be the highest level for your block, and maybe the least comfortable if you have tight hips or tight back. So you decide if you want to go back to a lower level or if you want to stay here. I think I'll stay here. It feels good for me. So allow the shoulders to soften back. There's really no weight in the legs, but the feet are planted, so you do feel the earth underneath the soles of your feet. Although the legs are not engaged, you don't want to let the knees flop out to the side. So you want to keep those parallel lines from hips to knees, knees to ankles. And as the arms relax down by your sides, you want to feel some weight in your shoulders and a stretch in the back of your neck. So our simple bridge here, using the block, allows us to feel all of the stretch in the front body. It creates the memory, the muscle memory awareness of the back body, of the back bend. It also creates the inversion benefits. So close your eyes here for a few moments. Let there be a sense of ease and relax, so that any tension that you might be holding in your body can simply float away. Notice the quality not just of your breath, but also the quality of your thoughts. It is the mind's nature to always be moving and thinking and having all kinds of ideas, memories that replay back in our minds. So we don't fight our mind's nature. What we do here through our mindfulness is we simply observe. By observing, we become connected. And at the same time, we become separated from the thoughts. We realize we are not our thoughts. We may not even really truly be the thinker. Perhaps we are that which is aware of the thinker thinking the thoughts. Let's wrap that around the mind for a few moments. In other words, you could say we are consciousness becoming aware of itself. As you exhale, take inventory of your body. Notice if there's anything or any part of your physical body that needs to soften. It could be as small as your pinky toe on your right foot, or as big as your entire lumbar spine and sacrum as the sacrum presses into the block. Maybe it feels tightness there, and you can emotionally and mentally relax the muscles around your lower back. Find ease in your posture. As we continue to breathe, we'll bring awareness to our emotional state. Your feelings, how you're feeling today. And just like the thoughts, our feelings are a way for us to kind of communicate with the external world. It gives us information and relays it back to us as an emotion. Oftentimes we confuse our feelings for ourselves, just like we might confuse our thoughts for ourselves. But in our mindfulness, we realize that we are not our feelings. And just like with our thinking, we may not even be the ones feeling the feeling. They are a part of our experience. They manifest in different ways depending on the circumstances, but they do not define us. Not any more than our thoughts do. See if you can breathe into that idea as you soften the physical body. Let yourself be still. And with the next exhale breath, we're going to walk the feet in a little closer to the body so that we come onto the toes. Gently lifting the hips. Let's lower the block to the lowest level and settle the sacrum back down. So now we're not quite as high. There's not as much weight on the shoulders. The sacrum feels a little bit more stable, more flat. There's less of a lifting through the rib cage. And from here, we're going to elevate the legs, simply letting them come up towards the sky. Now, as the legs come up, you might feel the need to adjust yourself onto your block or cushion. And let the legs float up, softening here through all other muscles in your body. Even if your legs feel like they're feeling tense here, relax them. Soften your knees, relax your quads and your hamstrings, relax your feet and your ankles. Just let them float. You can close your eyes, or you can gaze towards your toes. The final place I'd like for you to bring your awareness to is to your sensations. So our sensations are different than our feelings. Feelings are things like happiness and anger and frustration. Boredom. Those types of things are feelings. Our sensations are more so how we connect with our surroundings as far as our sense impressions, our senses. So you might feel sensations on your skin, like cold or warm, or a breeze, or an insect that might be flying near you that gives you a sensation. We definitely perceive sensations through our eyes, but right now they're closed, so you can still gaze in the darkness at the back of the eyelids. We might be able to sense a smell. We can sense sound. Perhaps you're lucky to be in a very quiet room right now, but there's still some kind of humming somewhere in your room that you might be able to locate. We can sense with our taste. So maybe you can still taste the toothpaste in your mouth from this morning. We can sense here that our legs have been up high for a little bit of time, maybe a tingling feeling in the toes and feet as the blood moves away from the toes and into the body. And just like before with our thoughts and our feelings, we realize we are not our sensations. Sensations are there for us to be able to communicate and interact with the world around us. They're very important. They let us know when we're too hot or when we're too cold, so we can do something about it. In our mindfulness, we don't necessarily have to do anything about our sensations. We just simply observe. Again, being aware that we may not even be the ones having the sensation, but the consciousness that is becoming aware of itself and the capability to perceive, to sense. Slowly with the next exhale, let's begin to wiggle the toes and begin to bend the knees, slowly lowering the feet towards the floor. Maybe let them hang here for a moment and notice how the sensation changes in the feet. They may have gone from feeling a little bit tingly to a lot tingly as the feet come down. Letting just part of the blood come back to the feet maybe creates a sense of warmth or coolness throughout the toes. And then exhaling, letting the feet release all the way down to the floor. Before removing the block, go ahead and stretch out your legs. Put stuff down there, I don't want to push away. Stretch out your legs. Bring your arms up over your head. Oh, long, beautiful, delicious stretch. Reach here through your heels or through your toes and reach your arms and through your fingers. Everything lengthens. And exhale, release. We're going to go ahead and lift the hips off the block. Release them back down to the floor. Bring the knees into the chest. Roll around a couple times. You can lift the head if you wish. Really rounding through your back. And then exhale, go ahead and lay all the way down onto your back and get yourself settled for our sound healing today. So make sure that when you are on your back, you are completely comfortable. So there's several things you can do. If you're feeling chilly, you can place a blanket over you so that your body is in a natural state of temperature, so that you're not too cold, not too hot. You might want to place something underneath your knees to keep a slight bend in your knees. You might want to place something perhaps under your head if your neck is not feeling very stable on the mat. Once you've settled in, make that conscious effort to no longer move. Find complete stillness. We allow the vibrations of the sounds to move through our body, regulating our glucose levels, regulating our heart rate, regulating our nervous system, allowing us to feel calm and serene. Take a few more breaths here. Perhaps still feeling those vibrations move through your entire system. With the next exhale, we'll begin to reawaken the body. Slowly moving the fingers and the toes, the hands and the feet, the arms and the legs. Maybe bending the knees and letting your hands rest either on your belly or one hand at your belly, one hand at your heart. Coming back into this space, drawing the edges of your lips up into a beautiful smile. Feeling your heart underneath one hand and your belly underneath the other. Truly connected with this experience of being us in this body. And then slowly, as you're ready, go ahead and bring your knees into the chest. Maybe roll around a couple of times here. Feeling the floor pressing against your back and the back against the floor. You can roll over onto your right side and linger there for a few moments, using your right arm as a pillow. And finally, when you're ready to do so, making your way up to a comfortable seated position. And let's take a moment here in our seated posture. You can have your eyes closed still if you wish. Just notice where we are in space, where we are in time. The practice of mindfulness is to really connect us to this present moment. Past is gone, and all we have is this moment, this breath. And then that one's quickly gone, just as quickly as it came. And now all we have is this moment and this breath. In this way, we find freedom in every step and freedom in every breath. We can let go of things that happened in the past. We can let go of worries that will come in the future. And we're in this moment right here, right now. We are happy and healthy. We are okay. And slowly blinking the eyes open, bringing awareness back into our space. I'd like to practice one pranayama breath before we finish up today. It's called the bumblebee breath. It's a little bit different, Rebecca. I think you'll like it. So we're going to go ahead and I'll show you what we do. We take the thumbs and we close the ears. This is part of our pratyahara, our kind of releasing the external stimuli. So we close our stimuli by closing the ears with our thumbs. The index fingers close our eyes gently, just a gentle pressure on top of the eyelids. The middle finger comes to the edge of your nose, right where it's in between your eyes, where it meets your eyebrows. The ring fingers press into the sides of the nostrils, not closing the nostrils, but just pressing into the kind of crease where the nose meets the face. And then the pinky fingers go to where the edges of the lips are. So it looks kind of funky. It looks something like this. So when you're in this position, when your hands are and your fingers are in all the right places, then you're just going to feel like you have created a vacuum within yourself. And then we're going to add our breathing in there. So now we know the hand positioning. The breathing is natural breath. It's just a simple inhale, but the exhale has a little bit of sound. It's almost like a hum. So it's that's going to be the exhale. So when everything is closed, it should reverberate through your entire head, face, and maybe even into your entire body. So let's give it a try. We're going to do only 5 rounds. If you find that it's too much, you feel free to just release your hands and come back to your natural breath. So closing the ears, closing the eyes, and the middle finger at the crease of the nose at the top. Ring fingers at the nostrils, pinky fingers at the edge of your lips. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. After your last exhale, release your hands down to your lap. Let your chin slightly bend down towards the chest, softening through the shoulders, maybe a little bit of movement. And just become aware of how your body is sensing the world now. Perhaps it seems like everything's a little bit louder or softer. Perhaps you're able to perceive sounds you weren't able to before. Some people find that breath deeply enjoyable, while others not so much. However you found that breath to be, just release it here. Whether you really enjoyed it, you can let that go. And if you really didn't like it, you can let that go too. Bring your breath back into that same equanimous state. The inhale and the exhale, equal length, equal pace. Once more, notice if there's any sensations in the body that are calling for your attention. Notice if there are any thoughts in your mind that are pulling you away from this moment. Notice if there are any new feelings rising up in the body. Now that we know we are not our thoughts, our feelings, or our sensations, we can simply observe quietly. A little fly on the wall. This is a liberating thought, a liberating idea. Take a next exhale breath, releasing with it anything that no longer serves us. And with the next inhale, we'll draw the palms towards the heart, the center of the chest, symbolizing that union of body, mind, and spirit. Just take a few moments here to feel great gratitude, feeling grateful. Allowing that gratitude to expand out to all beings, all of those suffering in other parts of the world. We use our yoga practice to ease suffering, not only within ourselves, but within our communities, our society, our world as a whole. By us practicing mindfulness and practicing stillness and softness of body, mind, and spirit, we can bring this out onto the world. So with that intention, we'll exhale the next breath away. And we'll inhale, preparing for Om. Namaste.